A lot of women, when they transition through the menopause, have complaints of mental fog and forgetfulness. And clinicians hear these complaints and they really don't know what to make of them or what advice to give to women. And so what our research focuses on is whether these complaints are normal, what's their natural history, that is, how do they change across the course of the menopausal transition, how do they relate to women's performance on standardized memory tests, and what is there to do about them, if anything. It used to be that we thought that the only symptoms of the menopause were vasomotor symptoms, that is hot flashes and night sweats, and vaginal dryness. But in the last half decade, there have been several studies that show that if you follow a woman as she transitioned from the pre-menopause through the post-menopause, that in the perimenopause, her cognitive functions, her ability to remember in particular, declines compared to her earlier performance. And this decline is not due to the fact that she's aging, although age does have an effect. It's the ovarian aging, it's menopause that's being associated with the decline in cognitive function. And that work tracking women shows that those cognitive problems continue into the post-menopause and perhaps, we don't yet know, resumes, returns to baseline, that it gets better after the menopausal transition. Our work looks at whether other cognitive abilities might be affected by the menopausal transition. We do know that women who complain of cognitive problems actually perform worse on tests of attention and memory. Most studies, not all, but most studies show that. So we need to take these complaints seriously. How a woman feels in terms of her mood, how well she's sleeping, how anxious she is, all of those affect her cognitive abilities as well. Even when you take those factors into account, memory changes as women transition through the menopause. There are big individual differences in the extent to which any given woman will experience cognitive problems. So some women transition through the menopause without any, and for some women, it's a major complaint. In fact, a very large study of over 13,000 women showed that forgetfulness was actually the third most common complaint in menopausal women overall. And in fact, as women were entering the transition, complaints of forgetfulness were more common than complaints of hot flashes. Many women don't think that the memory problems are due to menopause as they're entering menopause because many women don't understand that they're perimenopausal. They might think that once her periods stop, that's when the cognitive problems should begin. But in fact, they begin a little bit earlier. When women are in their late 40s and early 50s, they're at the peak of their earning potential. And they are engaging in multiple demanding roles. Many are taking care of children in addition to a job, and then they have this problem of aging parents. And it turns out that complaints of attention problems and complaints of mood problems are very strong predictors of quality of work life, as well as, interestingly, quality of relationships. So these symptoms interfere with women's daily lives.